You know Medusa. Snake-haired monster. Turns everyone who looks at her to stone. Beheaded by Perseus, the villain. But what if I told you this? Medusa was never a monster. She was a victim, and the one who turned her into a monster was the goddess who was supposed to protect her. Today I'm going to tell you Medusa's real story. And I'm warning you, this story will change how you see mythology forever. What do you know about Medusa? You've seen her on movie posters. You've faced her in video games. Snake hair, green skin, stone gaze. Terrifying, disgusting, a monster that must be killed. But here's the truth. Medusa wasn't a monster from the beginning. Medusa was a beautiful woman. In fact, she was so beautiful that thousands of people came to Athena's temple just to see her. She was Athena's priestess, pure virgin, devoted to the goddess. And her hair, legendary. So beautiful that people whispered her hair was even more magnificent than Athena's. And that's where everything began. Athena was the goddess of war, the goddess of wisdom, but she was also the goddess of pride, and this pride made her weak. Athena was bothered by Medusa's beauty. A human serving in her own temple was being praised more than she was. This was unbearable to her. But worse was coming, because someone else had noticed Medusa too, Poseidon. Poseidon was the god of the seas, powerful, ruthless, uncontrolled. And he wanted Medusa. Medusa told him no more than once, because being Athena's priestess meant remaining a virgin. She was devoted to a goddess. She wouldn't break her vow, but Poseidon wasn't someone who listened to words. One day Medusa was walking on the beach. Poseidon saw her and approached her. Medusa ran. There was only one safe place in her mind, Athena's temple. Her goddess would protect her. She ran there. She opened the temple door, went inside, fell to her knees in front of Athena's statue. She begged, she cried, "My goddess, protect me!" But Athena didn't come. That night, Poseidon raped Medusa in Athena's temple. Medusa was screaming right in front of Athena's statue. "Help me!" she was shouting. "My goddess, help me!" But no help came. The temple was silent. The statue just watched. And when morning came, Poseidon was gone. Medusa lay on the floor, alone, broken. And right at that moment, Athena appeared. Now pay attention, because what I'm about to tell you is worse than what happened to Medusa. Athena came, but not to comfort Medusa, to punish her. Athena was angry, but not at Poseidon, at Medusa, because her temple had been defiled, her sacred space stained by a sexual act, and Athena couldn't do anything to Poseidon. He was a god too. Punishing him was unthinkable, but Medusa, she was just a human, and so Athena cursed her. Medusa's beautiful hair, the hair Athena envied, turned into poisonous snakes. Her skin paled. Her eyes were cursed to turn anyone who looked at them to stone. Now Medusa was an untouchable monster, and Athena presented this as punishment. Wait a minute. What happened to Medusa? She was raped. Her own goddess didn't protect her. And then she was punished, yes. This is the darkest truth of Greek mythology. Medusa committed no crime. She was just beautiful. She just caught Poseidon's attention, and then she became a victim. But mythology recorded her as a monster. Medusa could no longer live among people, because everyone who looked at her turned to stone. Her family abandoned her. Her friends forgot her. She was alone. She had two sisters, Steno and Euryale. They were also Gorgons, but they were immortal. Medusa was mortal, the only mortal one of the three sisters. They were exiled to an island, a desolate, dark, cold place. It was called Gorgon Island. Medusa lived there for years, alone, in a place where no one could look at her, and a place where no one even spoke her name. And over time, people forgot her. But her story wasn't forgotten. The wrong version wasn't forgotten. There's a monster named Medusa. She kills everyone who looks at her. That's the story that spread, not the truth. A lie. One day, a hero named Perseus came. His mother had married a king. But the king wanted to get rid of Perseus. He gave him an impossible task. Bring me Medusa's head. Perseus accepted because he was a hero, and heroes killed monsters, right? But Perseus knew he couldn't do this alone. He needed help, and the gods helped him. Athena gave him a polished shield to see Medusa's reflection. Hermes gave him winged sandals to fly quickly. Hades gave him a helm of invisibility to approach unseen. And the gods gave Perseus a sharp sword to cut off Medusa's head. Now think about this. Medusa had been punished by the gods. She was already in exile, already alone, already suffering. But it wasn't enough. Now the gods were arming a hero to kill her. Perseus came to the island. Medusa was sleeping. She was tired, exhausted. But even in her sleep she wasn't at peace. Because her snake hair was hissing. Perseus approached her from behind. He used his shield. He looked at her reflection. He raised his sword, and with one strike he cut off Medusa's head. Medusa couldn't even scream. When she woke up, she was already dead. But the story doesn't end here, because Medusa was pregnant. She was carrying Poseidon's child, the result of the rape, the beginning of all this. And when her head was cut off, two beings burst from her neck. Pegasus, the winged horse. Chrysaor, the golden-sworded warrior. Medusa's children were born with their mother's death. Perseus took Medusa's head and started using it as a weapon. Whenever he encountered an enemy, he would pull out the head and show it. His enemies instantly turned to stone. Medusa's head was used even after her death, as a tool, as a weapon. Athena took Medusa's head from Perseus and attached it to her own shield, the Aegis, Athena's famous shield, with Medusa's face in the center. Now think about this. Athena had punished Medusa, had exiled her, had caused her death, and now she was wearing her head on her own shield. After Medusa died, she became a symbol. But what kind of symbol? A symbol of fear? A symbol of evil? A symbol of danger? In ancient Greece, Medusa's head was carved on doors, walls, armor, to ward off evil spirits. But here's the real irony. Medusa was never evil. She was the victim of evil, but her face was used to protect against evil. What kind of injustice is this? A victim being immortalized by having her own pain turned into a symbol. Today, our view of Medusa is changing. Feminists have rediscovered her. Because Medusa's story is the story of countless women, being blamed without guilt, being victimized, then being punished, then being forgotten, then being remembered wrong. Medusa is now a symbol of power, a symbol of those who transform from victims to survivors. The Versace logo uses Medusa's head as a representation of beauty and power. Artists are painting her again as an angry, powerful figure seeking revenge. Because here's the truth. Medusa's story isn't a story of justice. It's a story of betrayal. Medusa was betrayed by a goddess, attacked by another god, armed against by the gods for a hero, and even after death her pain was used as a symbol. There was never justice. There was never an apology. The truth was never told. For thousands of years, Medusa was called a monster. But today, we know the truth. What does Medusa's story teach us? History is a story written by the powerful, and the powerful write victims as monsters. But behind every monster's story, there is a victim, and Medusa is one of those victims, perhaps the most famous one. I told you I would tell you something throughout this video. That moment has come. Do you know what Medusa's real power is? Survival. No matter what they do to her, no matter how they tell her story, Medusa is still here, still remembered, still talked about. And now her real story is being told. Perhaps that's the greatest revenge. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Write in the comments which mythological character's story you want to hear, and see you in the next video.